This is a true story, and this is the story of Ip Man. Ip Man is the person who taught martial arts to Bruce Lee, but he himself was a very good martial arts player and a very good person. The art he did was called Wing Chun. This story starts in 1935. There is a place in China called Foshan, and all the people of this city are very well off, which means they are financially very good. And here, people do martial arts for their hobby. And that's why this city is very famous for martial arts. Here, everyone learns martial arts, and there is also a master of martial arts. Ip Man also lives in this city. Ip Man is from a very good family. He lives with his wife and son. He does not teach martial arts to anyone because he is from a very good family and he practices every day. He meets his friends and discusses martial arts with them. Although his wife does not like it at all, but Ip Man loves martial arts. Once when Ip Man was eating with his family, then a master of martial arts comes there, and his name is Liu, and he challenges Ip Man that I want to do martial arts with you, and Ip Man accepts his challenge. Now these two are doing martial arts in a closed room. Then it is shown outside that a boy's kite gets stuck on a tree. And when he looks inside, then he sees that Ip Man and Master Liu are fighting there. Their fight is going on. And in this fight, Ip Man defeats Master Liu. Master Liu says, "Please don't tell this to anyone. Otherwise my school will close when people will know that I have lost to you." Ip Man says, "You don't worry about this. I will not tell this to anyone." Ip Man is a very decent man, and Liu leaves from there. Now this whole story is seen by that boy who has come to the tree to take out the kite, and he goes out and tells this to everyone. And when a student of Liu tells him that the hotel owner, Yuan, is telling everyone that you lost to Master Ip, then he gets very angry with this. Yuan is the same boy who went to the tree to take out the kite, and he saw this whole fight. Now Master Liu goes to him in anger, and Master Liu's student says, "You shouldn't have lied." He says, "It's not a lie. I saw everything," he says. "Even if you saw everything, you shouldn't have said this. This is an insult to my teacher." He says, "I don't know what an insult is." Then he takes off his pants and says, "This is an insult," and everyone laughs at him. And he leaves from there. Master Ip was also sitting in this restaurant, but Master Ip didn't tell anyone. And he tells Master Liu that I apologize. And Master Liu also leaves from there. Master Ip's nature is very polite. That's why people like him now. Now a man comes to this city, and he is a very good martial arts player, and his name is Jin. He goes to a martial arts school in Foshan city, and he says, "I have heard that in Foshan people do martial arts very well. That's why I came here." And then he challenges the master of that school, and there is a fight between the two, but Jin is very sharp in his art, and he defeats that master. After this, he goes to several martial arts schools, one by one, and defeats all their teachers, and he feels that there is no one here who can defeat him. And when they are eating together, they say that in this city we can earn a lot of money by opening our martial arts school, because no one knows Kung Fu here, and there is no one better than us in this city. That's why the man who is serving them food, he says that you have fought with the stupid people so far. Where did you meet the real master? He says, "Who is the real master?" He says that Master Ip. And after this, Jin takes his people, and some people from Foshan city, and goes to Master Ip's house, so that he can defeat him in front of everyone, and can live in this city like a winner. Master Ip refuses to fight him, because his wife is also sitting there, and his wife does not want him to fight. But when Jin insults Master Ip, his wife says that the goods here should not be broken. And after this, the fight between Master Ip and Jin begins. Although Jin is very sharp and strong in his art, but Master Ip practices every day, and he is not better than him. And that's why Master Ip defeated Jin very badly. And after this victory, Master Ip's reputation in Foshan City increases when he goes to the market with his wife in Foshan City. Then people give him a lot of gifts, and the reason for this is that he defeated Jin, who was coming from outside and challenging all the martial arts players of this city, and he saved his city's reputation. Everything is going well in Master Ip's life. He has money, honor, reputation, everything. But time is not always the same. And on July 7th, 1937, there is a war between Japan and China. And after this war, China's economic system is completely destroyed. People have a shortage of money and unemployment. And exactly a year later, on October 1938, the Japanese army took over Foshan City, killed people, burnt factories, and destroyed everything. And now, Foshan City, which was once a laughing city where 300,000 people lived and there were many businesses. Now the population there is only 70,000, and a few factories are left, and this whole city is now under the control of the Japanese. And not only that, the Japanese also take over the house of Ip Man, because his house is very luxurious, and they make it their workshop. Ip Man, who used to live a great life. Now he does small jobs. Ip Man also has a friend here who runs a factory, and sometimes Ip Man helps him with money, and when he asks Ip Man to be his partner, then Ip Man refuses because he is very selfish. And now Ip Man works elsewhere, and this is the place where most of the people work who were martial arts players, who were connected to martial arts. And this happens because the owner here was also a martial arts player. Now some Japanese people come here, and he has a Chinese officer with him who now works for the Japanese. And he tells them that Colonel Sato respects our art, Chinese Kung Fu. That's why he is looking for such players who can fight with the Japanese, and whoever wins this fight, he will get a bag of rice. Master Ip is also here, but Master Ip does not want to go. There is a boy with Master Ip here. His name is Lin. He says, "I will come." Master Ip refuses him. He says, "They have taken our grain, and now I am going to take it back." And after that, Lin and many people who work here, who know martial arts, they go with those Japanese, and they do this because each grain of rice is very expensive here. Everyone is struggling with hunger. Now after reaching there, the Japanese general, he also knows Japanese Kung Fu, and he is very good at his art. He says, "It won't be fun. I will fight alone with 3 Chinese, and I will show them what Japanese Kung Fu is, and even if these 3 lose, they will still be given rice." And after that, the general fights alone with 3 Chinese. Now there is a Lin in these 3 Chinese, which Ip has refused to go there. And the general is very strong in his fight, in his art, and he kills Lin during this fight. The next day, again, at the place where Ip works, there is a Japanese and a Chinese soldier who now works for the Japanese. He comes to take some more people for the fight. And when Ip Man asks about Lin, he says, "I don't know anything. I don't know where he is." And now Ip is also ready to go with him because he wants to find Lin. And when Master Ip reaches there, he sees that Master Liu is fighting a Japanese master. Liu is the same who Ip Man defeated in the beginning of this story. Now Master Liu has won this fight, and that's why they are given rice in return. But Master Liu says that I will fight with 3 at a time, and he fights with 3 people at a time. But this time, he can't win, and he gives up. And when he picks up the bag of rice, which he got for his first victory, So the man in front of the general, he shoots him. The general is very angry about this. He says this is a playground, and don't ever shoot here from now on. He says sorry to him. Ip Man sees all this. He is very angry, and he asks the Chinese officer who now works for the Japanese. He asks him, Lee was also killed in the same way. He says yes. And after this, Ip Man says, I will fight. And they come inside. Ip Man says, I will fight with 10 people at a time. Although the Chinese officer who works for the Japanese, he refuses, but Ip Man doesn't agree. And they fight with 10 people at a time. But Ip Man is so good at his art that he beats those 10 people at a time, and he wins this fight. The general throws a bag of rice at him because of his victory. Ip Man says, I didn't come here for rice. The general says, you will come back, and he asks his name. Although Ip Man doesn't answer him, but the Chinese soldier who comes to him, he also knows Japanese, and he answers him, so that he doesn't know that Ip Man didn't answer him because everyone here respects Ip Man. Now Ip Man leaves there, and after coming out, the same Chinese soldier who now works for the Japanese, he comes to him and he says, don't go to work in coal mines again. The general won't leave you. Ip Man slaps him and says, you have betrayed your country. He says, I also have the right to feed myself. Ip Man says, with the blood of his countrymen. He says, I didn't kill them. And after this, Ip Man also leaves there. Ip Man is very upset with the situation of his country, but his wife says, I will support you at every step. Now the man named Jin here, who comes to his city and defeats many martial arts masters, and then comes to Ip's house and challenges him, whom Ip has defeated. He goes to Ip's friend's factory with his men, the same friend who told Ip to work with him in a partnership and whom Ip had helped. At some time, Jin wants to take money from him. He says, I don't have money. That's why Jin beats Ip's friend a lot. Now his son comes running to Ip, and he says, come with me soon, or else they will kill my dad. Ip goes with him, but till then, Jin has already gone with his men, and he also threatens him that when I come next time, I want my money, wants to take money from him for no reason. Now Ip's friend tells him, I wish I had also learned martial arts like you, and he requests him that you teach martial arts to me and all my employees, although Ip never teaches anyone. But now it's a matter of protecting everyone. That's why Ip agrees, and this way, for the first time, Master Ip, in his life, Wing Chun, which is the art of martial arts. He gets ready to teach others, and he also teaches everyone there. On the other hand, the general somehow wants Master Ip to come back to the ring and fight, but Ip has stopped working there. That's why the general is worried. He says, it's a small city. Find him and bring him in front of me. Now that Chinese officer who works with the Japanese. He says it's difficult to find him. Another Japanese officer gets angry and beats him very badly. The general stops him and he says, find him. And that Chinese officer now comes to Master Ip. He says, the general wants to fight you, but Master Ip refuses. That's when 3 Japanese soldiers come there and they say something wrong about Master Ip's wife. Master Ip gets angry and he beats the 3 of them very badly. Now the other soldier in front of them who works for the Japanese, he says, you have to go from here. Now they won't leave you, and Master Ip takes his family and leaves from there. And after that, he starts living with his family somewhere else. He tells his wife that we have to leave this city. We will go to Hong Kong. Ip's wife says, wherever you go, I will go with you. Ip says, I have some friends there. On the other side, Ip shows that the people who are trained in martial arts in their factory, Jin and his companions come again, but this time all the employees of the factory face them, they fight them. And now Ip Man also comes there. And he beats Jin very badly, and he says, "Don't even look at this factory again." Jin gets angry this time and tells the Japanese general that Ip Man keeps coming to the cotton factory. He has some connection with it. And the general sends his men there and tells Ip Man to come in front of him at any cost. Although Ip Man knows that the general is coming to the cotton factory, but still he goes there because he knows that if he doesn't go there, then these Japanese people will kill all of them. And when Ip Man goes there, the general comes in front of him, although the general's companion wants to kill him. But the general says that if he had to kill him, then he would have killed him the day when he broke the hands and legs of our people. But we want to give him a chance to teach martial arts to our soldiers. Ip Man says that I will not teach, and if you want to see my skill, then come and face me yourself. And the general gets ready to face him, although his companion says that you should not fight him, because this is not your personal matter, but it is a matter of the honor of the whole country. The general goes to Ip Man. He says that I gave you a chance to teach this art to our army, but you challenged me, and now this competition will be held in front of everyone with full honesty, and I will kill you in it, because Japanese Kung Fu is much better than your art. That is, Chinese Kung Fu is much better than Chinese martial arts. And when their competition is about to begin, then, along with the Japanese soldiers, the whole city gathers, because everyone wants to see what will be the result of this competition. What will be the result? Ip Man had sent his wife and child to Hong Kong through a friend, and when they were on the way, going towards Hong Kong, then Ip Man's wife says that I never supported them. But now, when they have such a big competition, then I want to see this fight. Here, Ip Man is also threatened